A&M is absolutely a portal winner. Landed Kevin Concepcion, KC for short, from NC State. Micah Hudson, former five-star cat from Texas Tech. Samuel Mpemba from Georgia, high-profile trench player there. I really trust the vision for A&M for the first time in a long time. And that's kind of where I want to start here when we talk about A&M. The Mike Elko era at Texas A&M did not start off in the hottest of ways because you lose to Notre Dame, and there's some things about it that you would like to have back. The finish you would like to have back. You don't finish the year with the quarterback you started with in Connor Wegman. There's a lot of imperfections about what happened this year for A&M. And I said at the top of the show, like, you finish the season, the bowl game ends, bit of a gut punch, and you're kind of feeling a little bit empty, a little bit hollow in that moment, but you look up and you're like, okay, this was year one. This was year one, and I'll call a spade here. 8 wins in your first year with all the activity that Mike Elko did in the portal, took 27 transfers last year. That was as good a season as Jimbo Fisher ever had in College Station outside the COVID year. So you're telling me the jumping off point here for Mike Elko is as good as what it was for Jimbo Fisher? Said JD, yeah, but that was also early on in Jimbo's career at A&M. Hear you, totally fair. But I think the difference between Mike Elko and the previous staffs that have come through College Station is you really trust his ability to build. Why? Because of his experience. He's done more with less. A big reason why we loved him at Duke. And not just from a roster perspective, from a culture perspective. It is very obvious. I mean, it is night and day. You watch A&M the last couple of years, you watch them this past year. Different temperature, different tempo, different composure, especially when things go wrong, different composure. I think that reflects Mike Elko. And so you have that paired with the way that he is attacking the portal, quite frankly. I love it. You see the vision. College football sickos, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. On this show, The Hard Count, it's college football, nothing but college football all year round. Now, this show is brought to you by our friends over at PrizePicks. Daily fantasy, easy to use, easy to play, easy to withdraw what you win. Follow us here. Use code HARDCOUNT at PrizePicks.com. We're going to do our very best to make us all some money. Now, even if we don't, when you play with code HARDCOUNT at PrizePicks.com, make yourself $50 in promo funds to then go ball out the rest of this playoff. So again, code HARDCOUNT, $5 in lineups, gets you $50 in promo funds at PrizePicks.com. We appreciate y'all subscribing. We appreciate y'all using that code with our friends PrizePicks. The portal moves reflect a lot of awareness within the roster. Sometimes I think it's easy for us as human beings in general just to be stuck in our own opinions of things and ways of doing things, and we want to just believe things are going to be okay in whatever capacity. Mike Elko, I'm sure, trusts his own formula internally, but also he's showing he's not ignorant to the problems. Like, go out and land 2 big-time wide receivers in Kevin Concepcion and Micah Hudson. Those are real deal gets. You pair that with a quarterback in Marcel Reed who's coming back. You pair that with Le'Veon Moss who's coming back at running back. Like, don't look now. This A&M offense could be lethal because you got the Colin Klein tough factor with the offensive coordinator of what he is and the way they've operated this year. And you pair it with the fact that I think they were handicapped all year long by not having dudes on the outside. Like, this A&M team now offensively could be a force to be reckoned with in a very real way. Defensively, we'll see what they do on that side of the football as the portal continues to churn. But listen, to me, like the place that I fall when it comes to how A&M's going to address the portal and how they're going to address the defense next year is like, that's Mike Elko's deal. Like, that is the side of the football that is personal to him as a head coach. And so if A&M doesn't have the success they want to have over the course of his time in College Station, I don't believe it'll be because they didn't have a good defense. Will it be perfect every year? No, never is. It's the most imperfect sport in the world. You got 18 to 22-year-olds playing a sport where you run full speed into each other in 11-on-11 settings. It's not going to be perfect. However, how Mike Elko operates, how he builds, and again, that side of the football, with it being his specialty, I think that's something you can feel relatively confident in over the course of the next few years out there in College Station. But here's maybe the most important thing of this whole discussion around Elko and A&M and the portal and all that. Like, it's great they've added top talent. It's great that he has a track record in building the way that he's built. Like, I mean, he won 9 games at a basketball school in Duke with a quarterback now that's about to start a college football playoff game against Georgia. Like, okay, shown he can evaluate, shown he can build, all that. But fit is so overused in the world of describing head coaches relative to institutions. But I do think that there is something to understanding the job you're walking into. Like, you have to understand and get the job and embrace, quite frankly, the job that you have. And we've seen that be a big variant or a big variable for success. Like Pete Carroll, he wrapped his arms around USC, embraced what LA is, embraced that brand, had a lot of success there. I think Marcus Freeman right now is doing the same thing at Notre Dame. Mike Elko gets what A&M is. He gets the standard. He gets the expectations. He gets their traditions. He gets the crazy level of buy-in they have out there. Like, he can manage all of it. He keeps all the plates spinning, and he loves it. I tell you, he relishes it. Why? Because he's been there before. He was there as a DC. And the thing that we talked about a lot when he got the job is you watch that press conference when he got hired. And let's just say the quiet part out loud. A&M's not for everyone. Like, A&M is a polarizing brand. The traditions people make fun of mercilessly on social media. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you're part of it, that's who you are. It's not like oh, I went to school here. It's like, no, that is like, I'm wearing the Aggie ring. We're singing the war hymn at my wedding. Like, that's what I'm about. I'm about that life. Mike Elko is also about that life. Like, the post-game press conference, they're singing the war hymn. He knows every word. He's leaning, he's rocking, he's swaying. Like, there was no fake limp seeking from him when it came to that war hymn. Like, he was all the way dialed in. And I think at a place like A&M, it is more important to understand the job. You got to get the job the way that Mike Elko does, and that's a big reason why I believe in the future there in College Station. The portal is awesome. The returning pieces are awesome. They've been a winner in the portal to this point. They were a winner last year in the portal. You want to do this whole 2020 vision thing. You want to do hindsight. Nick Scorton, major piece for them. But the way that he understands and gets and is bought into A&M, I think is massive. I don't think you can overstate it. And I think that the Elko era, in year one, it's hard to give him any grade that's less than a B+ in my mind. I'd give him an A- based on their first year out there in College Station. So, portal winner for sure, but the future is very, very bright for our friends out there in Aggie land.